Renu Baid Pugalia, Senior Vice President Research at IIFL Capital, joins in now to talk about this. In a bit, we'll of course get in one of the interested parties as well. But Renu, good morning. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us. And prima facie, what does an order of this nature mean, or a move of this nature mean for some of the companies which have, which are of course the potential or the winners of such an order?
I was saying this was a part of the government initiatives to drive companies invest in the supply chain backward integration on the electronic side. And companies have been working on technology tie-ups and base working for these capex for almost last 1 year now. The capital subsidy from the central government under the ECMS schemes has been a positive move in terms of projects are moving, government is supporting. And we see the EMS companies being at the front of these initiatives. Kane has almost 4 projects approved. Sirma, which actually forayed into PCB quite late compared to peers, even they have one of their projects, which is phase 1 of $90 million approved under the scheme. A number of Korea circuits also have seen approval. So the back-end value chain on the electronic side, whether it's PCBs, multi-layer, HDIs, we are seeing investments coming in the space, and that will help to build the domestic ecosystem in the country. And secondly, for existing EMS companies, it deepens their presence into the value chain beyond conventional PCB activities that they were doing.
The concern, though, Renu, and nobody is doubting that the potential for these companies is enormous, but the concern is about the valuations, because everybody seems to be excited about them. Would you be of the camp that says that you should be okay with these valuations, considering that you'll see a big takeoff 2-3 years from now, and you should be okay with that because and it justifies the valuations right now? Or would you say hold your horses, you'll get opportunities down the line?
I would say sectors which are sunrise sectors, as in EMS electronics is completely new sector which has come through in the last 3 to 5 years. And valuations is a function of how do we look at growth outlook in the space. So given that we are relatively bullish on this space, we think it's a multi-year cycle, and companies are just in the nascent stage of building their portfolios and capabilities. So valuations, yes, on the face of it may look relatively rich, but given the size and scale of opportunity and the runway for growth, in hindsight, one will not find these valuations expensive, given that growth opportunities and the kind of growth that these companies are delivering is almost 40 to 50% earnings CAGR. I'm not sure how many other companies or sectors are actually delivering that kind of consistent growth along with increase in the scope and capabilities. So valuation that you're paying is for the price, is essentially for the growth and for the sector, which is a relatively new sunrise sector that we're investing in.
But Renu, and this is the last question, you obviously don't paint the entire sector with the same brush. You would look at 1 or 2 as your favored picks, purely based on your expectations of the earnings trajectory going forward. What would they be?
So within the space, I think Keynes clearly has positioned itself differently compared to other peers, being among the first mover on the entire backward integration with OSAT, PCBs, and on the EMS side. So that name we continue to prefer, but obviously valuations, as you mentioned, have run up in that name. So the relative 12-month upside in the name looks relatively limited. Vis-a-vis that, Sirma, which was a relatively, I would say, late entrant in the space, we have seen the core business on the EMS side improving, margins are expanding, focus on ROE, cash flows coming back, and their initiatives on PCB are also now taking shape with government approvals. So on relative risk reward, that looks pretty comfortable to us to deliver about 25-30% upside. We like Sirma also as a second pick and have a buy recommendation on the stock.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting because we're speaking next to Sirma. Thank you for that, Renu.